Hello and welcome to my Facebook Live this morning. Um, it's Thursday the 13th of November and it's 10:30 a.m. in the UK. If you are joining me this morning, it would be lovely for you to say hello in the comments. I have got another screen where they hopefully will pop up, but it's Facebook seems to have a bit of a mind of its own, and sometimes they pop up while I'm going live and sometimes they don't. So anyway, how are you doing with your Christmas cards and your Christmas crafting? I've still got a couple of card classes that I'm doing next week, and then I will be moving on hopefully then to some new products that are coming in January, and some of the online exclusives are moving away from Christmas. But I still have quite a lot of my own Christmas cards to make, and because I make so many different ones for classes and for lives, I've got a few that are my favourites that I'm gonna make multiples of in various colours. Anyway, one of my favourite stamps this year is quite simply this Merry Christmas. You can see I've used it quite a bit. It's gone a bit red where I've used it with different colours, mainly some of them being red. Let's have a look. It's about 4¼ inches by 2¼ Obviously it's lovely as a focal point on a card. It's got a really nice font to it. So it doesn't take a lot more than the stamp. So this morning I'm going to show you a couple of cards using this, just to give you some ideas. I've made a couple already of the first one we're going to do. So this has been heat embossed in gold, and hopefully you can see how lovely and sparkly that is. This is some new heat emboss that I've bought. I was trying to use up my other Stampin' Up heat emboss, but this is a new one that they've had for a while, but I've put off buying it. But it's called Wow embossing powder, and to be honest, it is amazing. It's so much better than the old ones were. They come in 2 packs, which I have here. So you have the metallics, and you've got the gold, copper and silver, and they're nice sized little pots. They last for ages. I want that one. And then you've got the basics, and this is a white, a clear and a black. So they're really useful. You can emboss on all sorts of things, but as you can see, we're using the gold today because it's Christmas, and we're also using the modern Christmas designer series paper. So that's my 2 versions already made in Real Red and Pretty Peacock. So for this card we're going to use excuse me, Night of Navy, another one of my favourite colours for Christmas. The gold and black stand out really well, so I'm just going to go ahead and firstly glue this on. The back of this is, you could colour these trees in, again, any colour you wish, to add a bit of difference to the black and white paper. Okay, so that's just a standard card base. It's been cut at 11.5 inches by 4 and then scored at 5 3/4. I've got a white insert to go inside, but we'll pop that to one side for the moment, and we'll just find, okay, so I've got a piece of white cardstock. This is the embossing buddy. It's like chalk in there, but it takes away the static that can be created. You really want to do that so that you don't get the embossing powder sticking in other places. Okay, we're using Versamark. I'm just going to give that a good stamp. Now I'm going to be cutting this out, so it doesn't matter if it's not straight. You just want to try and get it in the middle of your piece of cardstock. Okay. And then I've already got some gold in there, but for speed and ease, I'm going to chuck a load more on. Give it a good covering and a gentle tap. Okay, so you can see at the moment it's quite dull, and it's very gritty. So what we need to do, I'm not going to do the whole thing because I know how annoying it is to listen on video to heat embossing. But I'm just going to quickly do a little bit to show you, to show you how it changes. Okay, so hopefully you can see how some of that, I'm just waiting for the other screen to catch up, how some of that has changed to like a liquid. Probably a good light on it, so you can see the top of this is still the powder and it's changed to liquid, and that is already dry. It dries really quickly. I'll finish heat embossing that after my live, but I do have one here that I've completed, and I'm going to be cutting it out using this die, which is from the Textured Note dies, and it's got, if you can see, it's got a detailed edge around it. So I'll just run that through the machine. Won't take a moment. It's really easy to line up and keep it straight if you want it straight. And obviously we do have other shaped dies you could also use. So as you maybe I'll see now the detail around that edge. Okay, so we've also got I've used some little, I would say they're stars, they're meant to be stars, I guess. These dies are from the Ornamental Christmas, which again is part of the modern Christmas suite. I'll let you into a secret. All I've done is bought the dies and the paper. I didn't buy the stamp set because I bought a different Christmas stamp set, and I didn't want two with Christmas trees in it. So I've cut these out now. I've added some adhesive sheets. So this is our adhesive sheets. I've added some of that to the back of the cardstock, and it turns them into like little stickers, so you can see there. So I'll pop those out the way. I'm just gonna pop these on. You just need to peel that layer off. And stick them wherever you wish. It's really easy to get the backing off. It's just like running your finger over it. Okay, so now it's quite simply that is just stuck on as another layer. Okay, one tip would be because when you're heat embossing quite a big area like this, it can make the paper curl slightly, so you can either emboss on the back and it will unfold a bit, or you can get something heavy and just place it on top just to let it glue down and flatten out. Okay, but don't be put off by the paper or the cardstock curling up slightly. Okay, so that's the first one, and that's the heat embossing. So we have, as I say, Real Red, Pretty Peacock and Night of Navy. In this one, all I've done is stuck a white layer under another one of those stickers. I might put a sentiment in it at some point, I'm not sure yet. So yeah, so that's three colourways. They all work really well. They're all Christmassy, and they're very simple and straightforward to do. Okay, so the second card we're going to make is this one. Again, this is in Night of Navy. It's been stamped in Night of Navy, and it's been stamped onto this gorgeous, let's see what it's called, Silent Snowfall DSP. So for those that don't know, the DSP stands for Designer Series Paper. It basically means patterned paper, and you get you get 6 12 by 12 sheets, and it's, I don't know if you can see that, you should be able to, it's embossed with snowflakes, so they're really, really pretty. I have used this before in some of the other things that I've made. So again, I've got a slight bit of padding there, but I'm going to bring in a stamping mat because we are stamping in photopolymer. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I've not used the red like this yet, but we will give it a go. And again, these are really simple. You cut in your card base to 11.5 by 4 and scoring it at 5 3/4. And then the snowflake, I've got a mark on there. Get another piece. Didn't see that just now. Hang on. So yeah, the snowflake paper is cut at 5.5 by 3 3/4. You want to stamp it ideally with the snowflake embossing up, but you could do it the other way. Okay, and then I'm just going to try and eyeball it so that it's roughly in the middle. Always difficult with the camera above your head. Okay, give it a good press down, and just trying to find somewhere to put the stamp out of the way. Let's get rid of that ink for a moment. Okay, again, really simply, that is going to be just stuck on there. You can add, obviously, as much, you could add some holly, whatever you wanted really, but I just like the clean and simple design of this. It says exactly what you need it to say at this time of year. These are just basic rhinestones. Again, I'm using them plain. You could, if you've got the blends, you could colour them to match the blends. Sorry, to match the cardstock and the ink. And I'm just popping a few into the little gaps. So like you can see the little gaps in the snowflakes. That one's got 5 on. This one so far has only got the 3. We generally do odd numbers. I think I'm going to want to put that one over that side. Okay, so that's it in real red, Night of Navy. I mean, as you can see, it is really quick. I'm just going to cut another piece because I don't want to use that piece with the mark on it. So 5.5, 3 3/4. And then I'm just gonna clean the stamp because we don't want red on it again. This time I'm going to use, let's try it off, the Pretty Peacock, one of my favourite colours. I'm not really a green person, but this is like a bluey green, I guess, and it is really nice. So again, just some gentle taps. Don't push down too hard because you'll get far too much ink and then it will end up getting messy. Okay, let's cover this up so that it doesn't end up anywhere else. And then I do have on, I think it's Festive Friends, there's a little snowflake stamp, which, though I haven't stamped it, the insides, it would go really well, so I might do that in a moment. Right, I've used up, I just need to find my other pack. They're there, right in front of me. Okay, so I'm using the really small rhinestones. Looks just as good with 3 on there. I might leave that one with just the 3 on, actually, because it's balanced, it's fine. I'll get that. Okay, so this is the snowflake that I'm thinking of using. So that's from the Festive Friends. And Sending Christmas Wishes. I'm going to use that inside as well, and that's from the Pine Tree Trimmings. And then I think I've got so I'm just going to do the one. I'll do it in the Pretty Peacock, as I've got that here. Hopefully that will looks as though it's got a bit juicy. Oh yeah, look at that. Obviously pressed too hard. Right, let's get a bit clean that. Try and do it gentler. Okay, obviously I didn't press hard enough on that one side. Don't want too bigger splodges, you see, so right. Perfect. Okay. I don't need that for the snowflake, because the snowflake's red rubber. It's got that cushion, but these are going. These are not going to be made anymore. It's all going over to the photopolymer, and I'm just going to stamp that there. Okay. And then this one. Can just simply pop in the middle. And that finishes the card off really nicely. Okay, so we've got Real Red, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock in both designs. Okay, hope that's given you some inspiration on how to use that big stamp. Both really easy, simple designs, don't take a lot of time. You could, could knock out your Christmas cards fairly quickly with 2 very, very pretty designs there. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.